Okay, can you hear me now? Thanks for joining. So again, happy Tuesday. Let me know in the comments if things are back on. And this is BTM here on the BTM Crypto News Network. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining. Thanks for that, Jay. Seems like the mic was muted. I'm glad you said something. I've done videos for like 15, 20 minutes before somebody mentioned it. But yes, we're back. We're live. XRPL is leveling up fast. XRP holders need to see this. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, XRP is leveling up fast, and the XRP holders really need to see this because while a whole lot of people are arguing about price candles and old narratives, the infrastructure story around XRPL keeps getting more serious. And today we got something that matters, and we'll get to this. Covents, a major commercial payments company, announces teaming up with Ripple on stablecoin enabled cross border payments. This is not a random Twitter hype. This is the kind of headline that makes you sit up and say, okay, this is getting closer to a real business adoption. And that's what today is about. No fake moon boy nonsense. No trust me, bro, candle tomorrow. We're talking about whether XRPL is entering a new phase where tech, the tech stack is improving, payment rails are becoming more usable, and institutions and payment providers are getting more comfortable. And the XRPL story might be bigger than a lot of people realize. So hit the like button, subscribe if you rock with the channel, and drop in the chat. Is XRP finally getting the respect it deserves, or are people still sleeping on it? Let me put this here and we can start the screen share. Make sure you sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network on X to stay current on news and events. So I got a couple quick shorts I want to play real quick, and then we'll get back to today's story.
Xrpl CEO says clarity will pass before May of 2026. And yes, everybody's still arguing about the whole yield on stablecoins issue when it comes to the Clarity Act, which is crypto market structure. Top crypto things you might have missed. Freaky Friday, March 27th, 2026. I'm so happy it's the weekend. You have no idea. Senator Loomis says America can't wait until 2030, but Coinbase is still blocking the stablecoin bill, as they should, because they're just making sure we get the best version so they don't have to go back and argue about it later. Even if it is impacting Coinbase's bottom line, I do not support the current version of Clarity. Tim Scott came out and said, I spoke with Coinbase, everyone's still at the table. Brad Garlinghouse also talks about the future of payments. Ripple also sees a major stablecoin payment wave coming, and that's going to be great for them because it's going to impact their bottom line. And the only saving grace with XRP for retail is settlement, using XRP in settlement. Otherwise, your stable coins aren't going to pump, but you want to be able to earn yield on those, right? On American companies? Yeah, me too. Ripple was also name dropped during the House Financial Services Subcommittee, which is great. I love that. And some AI alpha here, strengthening XRP ledger security with AI. And this is going to be the next phase of growth for Ripple. And the goal is basically protecting XRPL as they continue to grow, which they definitely will. Stablecoins, RLUSD on XRPL and Ethereum. XRP DAT Evernorth is going to go public through SPAC merger. And a lot of you still probably can't participate with it because it's going to be for institutional people, because they're an XRP treasury institutional thingamabobber. Retail's not invited. The firm will grow XRP holdings through lending, DeFi yields, and active participation in the ecosystem to support adoption. See why yield on stablecoins is so important? Allegedly, Bitcoin holders are leading the current sell-off when it comes to Bitcoin, while retail is. To me, that doesn't make any sense because why would you sell your Bitcoin at this point? But you do you. David Sachs says his time as Trump's crypto and AI czar has ended. And the Federal Reserve allegedly says that they have no plans to create a CBDC. We know that's a darn lie. And of course, Elizabeth Warren wants to raise taxes on billionaires while she's still accepting her salary, while the government is still shut down, and real public servants are not getting compensated. Goodbye. Xrpl CEO says clarity will pass before May of 2020.
So you notice they keep pushing the Clarity Act pass back and back and back. I told you guys they're going to keep pushing it back because these guys are probably not going to be able to get it passed anytime soon. So that will just keep rolling further and further back until midsummer or sometime around the midterm elections. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think it will pass sooner than that or not? I personally don't think so, but we will see, because I think they have to pass the Save America Act, which does not seem to be progressing the way they thought it would. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about when they will pass it. And this is a few more shorts.
Action stays so stagnant for so long with nothing but good news every day, I would expect a slow grind up at least. News for Ripple cannot be correlated to price. If anything, price needs to go down when there's good news from Ripple. And you might wonder, well, why? Other crypto companies, when they're announced stuff about Cardano's foundation or Charles Hoskinson or their partnership with this or that, the token skyrockets. That correlation right there means it's a security of that company or that individual or that counterparty. The whole point of the Ripple lawsuit was XRP is not a security of Ripple. So they use the supply that they have to suppress the market, and they sell onto the market into good news to hold the price down. Do I like that? No. Do I understand why? Yes. Is that going to matter when we see institutional adoption and there's a supply shock because they've escrowed half of it and then, done everything and laid the rails and negotiated everything behind the scenes and worked on, XRP's behalf because it benefits them if it goes significantly up in value also? I'm happy with that outcome. And I'm okay to wait. I think the wait's over. I wouldn't come on here and continue to tell you guys if I didn't think it was. How can price action stay so stagnant for so long with nothing but good news every day? I would expect a slow grind up at least. News for Ripple cannot be correlated to price. If anything, price needs to go down when there's good news from Ripple. And you might wonder, well, why? Other crypto companies, when they're announced stuff about Cardano's.
So shout out to Jake. This is they leaked the XRP price, which they keep telling us, but this number keeps going up surprisingly. Let's see what he has to say. Dang it, why is this?
Prediction. You know what the price prediction was? It was $1,400. This wasn't just any Ripple employee. This was a big dog at the company. They made a calculator. This was a couple years ago, of where they thought XRP was going to go eventually. I just don't want you to forget that. Someone that works at Ripple believes that this coin's going to go way higher, but you, for some reason, think that we're done at $1. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? And no, I'm not saying that we're going to go to 1,000. If you think that $1 is the fucking top, you are out of your fucking mind, dude. A Ripple employee gave their price prediction. You know what the price prediction was? It was $1,400. This wasn't just any Ripple employee. This was a big dog.
But like we've been saying, it's got to be more, right? It's got to be enough to move these monies around cross-border payments. So let me know what you guys think. And this is the last one, and we'll get back to it.
It's about $3 trillion a year. They're working to bring that value onto the XRP ledger. And then G Treasury now Ripple Treasury does about 12.5 trillion. So if you bring those two companies together, you're looking at about 15.5 trillion, maybe 16 trillion worth of volume. If you could process that volume on the XRP ledger with RLUSD or using XRP, to facilitate some kind of cross-border, or if you need it as a bridge asset, something. I mean, you are talking about a huge jump in what Ripple's been able to achieve, right? They're just celebrating doing $100 billion. Imagine if you were doing $40 billion a day just by these two companies. That's what we're talking about here. So I'm waiting to see what that transition looks like, how long that transition is going to take. and when we can start really seeing some of the impact of these acquisitions that Ripple has done on the XRP ledger itself. We've already seen RLUSD growing massively over the last few months, and I do believe it's in part to both of these acquisitions, but I do want to see more activity on the XRP ledger before I get really overexcited about all of this. I think there's still a long way to go, and that's what I'm paying attention to. So Ripple Prime does about 3
Crypto Sensei. So let's start with the bubbles. Currently, looks like there's a lot of red in the market today. Algorand's up 8%. Lithium's up 4.4. Hash flow is up 6.5. Trump coin's up 0.6. Reminds me, actually. World Mobile token is up 1%. Bitcoin Cash is up 1%. Zcash is up 10%. ZBCN is up 0.4 on the day, 1.2 on the hour, down 0.9% for the week, up 15.4 for the month, and up 136% for the year at the 0023. If I can just get past the 003. Radian's up 2.6. Safe is up 1.1. Cubic is up 2.9. Polymesh is up 1.3. Flux is up 2.3. Dash is up 0.8. Gala is up 0.4. ICP is up 0.3. I think that's all that's up today. So World Liberty Mobile's down 1.1. HBAR's down 5.3. Solana is down 3.4. Caspa is down 1.3. Ingest is down 1.7. XLM is down 4.1 on the day, 1% on the hour, 1% on the week. Up 5.6 for the month and down 38.5 on the year. Hype's down 5. Canon Network is down 3.7 on the day, up 0.5 on the hour. Qual Network is down 5.5. And is this the same one that is part of Tau, Bitensor Tau? Anybody know? Let me know. Telecoin is down 4%. Wow. Bitensor is down 2.9 on the day, 0.8 on the hour, 4.5 for the week, still up 71% on the month, and 32.4 on the year to 339. Guess we can go over to the big boys. Bitcoin is 67,017, down 0.4 on the day, 0.2 on the hour, 3% on the week, up 1.9 on the month, and down 18.8 on the year. Ethereum is back at 2,064, unchanged on the day, down 0.4 on the hour, down 2.3 on the week, up 5.4 on the month, and up 13.7 on the year. Moving forward, XRP, our favorite cross-border remittance payment processor, is down 1.8 on the day, 0.6 on the hour, 5.3 on the week, 3.1 for the month, and 38.2 on the year to $1.31. So keeping it moving. Coin market cap is showing. Let's refresh this just to be for sure it is up to date. So XRP Ledger, 469.8 million, down 2.57 for the month. 289 RWA counts. Represented asset value 1.5 billion, up 1.94 on the month. 412.2 million, up 21.4 on the month. RWA holders is 25 to up 14 or 4.17 on the month. Stablecoin holders 56.4, up 57.7 for the month. 30-day RWA transfer 73.79 million, down 50.8% on the month. And stablecoin transfers 1.14 billion, down 4.67 on the month. RWA tracker, actually, we'll come back to that. So this is, oh, I'm glad I did refresh that. Market cap is 2.3 trillion, down 0.74. CMC 20 is 138.7, down 0.52. Fear and greed is 27. Altcoin seasons is 49, and average crypto RSI is 45.6. So let me know what you guys think about that moving forward. XRP is down 5.9 on the day. That's a week, actually. Down 1.76 of the day. Market cap is 80.8 billion, down 1.76. 24-hour trading wise, 1.9 billion, down 2.57. I need to get this account set back up. Not saying XRP is fully out the woods yet, but the way the bulls keep defending that $1.30 area is hard to ignore. In a market where confidence still feels shaky, that kind of support usually says that more people think it shows buyers are still there, even when sentiment is not fully backed. So that's a good thing. Looking at the XRP ETF terminal, spot is 11 million. Leverage volume is 13.2. Bitwise is $14.77, down 0.14, 6.13 million on 24-hour trading volume. Well, today's volume, actually. Franklin Templeton, 14.32, down 0.28. 2.2 million in today's volume. $12.87 for 21 shares, down 0.23, 1.5 million. And today's volume, Canary Capital is down 0.07 to $14.07. Today's volume is 737,000. Grayscale's down 0.31 to $25.61, with today's volume at 330, and Rex Offspray is at $10.84. Today's down 0.18, and today's volume is 155K. Derivative market, Tercum 2X is 6.6 million, down 1.06 to $3.71. Volatility shares is down 0.72% to $39.13. Today's volume is 3.8 million. Volatility shares is down 0.40 at $7.46. Today's volume is 1.31 million. Ultra Pro shares is down 0.83 with $3.58, 1.127 million. And today's volume, Amplify 3% is actually up 0.07% to $13.79, 187K in 24-hour trading volume. Then over to the XRP tracker. Wait a minute. So value locked in 771 million. Canary Capital is 197.1 million. Bitwise 194.9. And Bitwise about to flip Canary Capital. Franklin Templeton 159.7 million. 21 shares 105.8. Grayscale 47.5 million. Rex Osprey 42.2 million, and Bitwise Wise 24.5. Oh, wow. But back over to the radar. And escrow is 36.9 billion. XRP burnt 14.3 million. This is still weird. This RLUSD is 318 million. Exchanges hold 14.1 billion, 14% of the supply. ETFs and indexes 771.7 million. DeFi and AMA is 273.9 million. Tokenized RWA is 1.6. It went up. It's 1.5 yesterday. 1.6 billion. And Treasury is 473 million. So on to the exchanges. Up Bit added 1.6 million with 38% of the supply. Binance is unchained with 16.5. BitThumb added 1.3 million to 12.6% of the on exchange value. Uphold lost 659,000 to 12.6%. By BitBank is 4.1%, dropped 426. CoinCheck 287 at 3.9. eToro lost 28K at 3.4. Wow. Crypto.com lost 5.9 million to 2.3. Coin One added 102,000 to 2.2. And Bitflyer added 128K to 1.3. So I guess starting with the news. The approval of Ripple's bank charter will enable Xrpl integration with federal services by Q2, Q3 2026. Remember, the OCC is introducing a new digital amendment April 1st, 2026, which is tomorrow. April 1st is the first day of Q2 2026. Meanwhile, Amplify ETF forecasts XRP will undergo a significant integration with federal payment rails such as FedNow and Q2, Q3 2026, right on schedule. All the documents are below. So make sure you sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network on X to stay updated with XRP and Xrpl, Tau, and all the other crypto projects we currently keep track of. But let's see here. This is big news. Covalent, a global leader in commercial payments, just joined forces with Ripple to power stablecoin enabled cross-border payments. This is not meme fuel. This is real world infrastructure moving closer to the blockchain rails. Translation, faster settlements, more efficient treasury flows, and another serious enterprise signal for Ripple's payments ecosystems. So I think that's where I left off earlier. So, and no, this is not financial advice. This is crypto YouTube. Some of y'all making life-changing decisions while eating fries in a car, so let's be careful. So, here's the thesis for today. XRPL is leveling up fast because the network is expanding beyond old payments only label and now pushing deeper into the stablecoin B2B payment rails, lenders, merchant settlement, and compliance friendly finance. And on today, Convera, I hope I'm saying this right, Convera announced it fits perfectly. Convera says it's partnering with Ripple to power stablecoin enabled cross border payments using what it calls stablecoin sandwich model. This means the payments still begin and end in fiat, but the stablecoin are used in the middle for settlement. Converta, I guess, Converta manages the end-to-end payment experience, and Ripple provides liquidity on off ramps and cross-border settlement infrastructure. Now, that is important because businesses do not want the average treasury manager waking up and saying, hey, let's become the crypto trading today. No, they want faster payments, better liquidity, lower friction, and less capital trapped in old systems. If Bitcoin helps, if the blockchain helps them to do that without forcing customers to touch crypto directly, this is where the adoption starts getting real. So the conveyor news why XRP holders should care. Let's break it down. The part about convert. What is that? Converter? Oh, say converter. This is the headline of the day. Converter describes itself as the international leader in cross-border payments, saying it supports payments in over 120, 140 currencies to move more than 200 countries and territories. So this is not some kind of tiny startup nobody heard of. And today's announcement says Converter is joining forces with Ripple to enhance global payments through stablecoins and blockchain infrastructure. Conveyant specifically said will enable faster, more reliable cross-border payments, especially in corridors where traditional options are limited. That matters because this is not a vague exploring blockchain press release. This is a commercial payment company saying we see value here to plug Ripple infrastructure into real cross-border payment flows. Now, the very important announcement is about Ripple's infrastructure and stablecoin enabled payments. It does not explicitly say every payment uses XRPL itself. So be honest with your audience and don't oversell it. But it absolutely supports the broader bullish case. The XRPL and Ripple ecosystem is being more relevant to real world commercial payments. And this is still a big deal. Business doesn't want a meme coin, they want their money fast, cheaper, with fewer emailing. Just follow up for 3 days. Just following. Okay. XRPL is not standing still technically. Now let's talk about why I keep saying XRPL is leveling up fast. Because the network itself has been changing. In January 2026, XRPL released Rippled 3.10. That version introduced the single asset vault and the lending protocol. That is a major expansion beyond the one idea that the XRPL is the only useful in sending payments from point to point, from point A to point B. A simple asset vault pool, one asset for use with the lending protocol, and the lending protocol adds the ability to create fixed term unilateral loans on the XRPL with configurable risk protection, and incentives. That is a big boy infrastructure that the financial plumbing. Then in March 2026, Xrpl shipped Ripple's 3.1.2, which included security fixes and warns operators to upgrade as soon as possible so servers would not face restarts and outages. Now, some people hear security release and get nervous. I look at it like this: Cirrus networks do maintenance, Cirrus networks patch issues, Cirrus networks evolve. That's what grown up infrastructure looks like. Messy sometimes, but necessarily, absolutely. People want $1 billion finance rails with zero bugs, zero updates, and zero friction, and a 40x in 48 hours. Get for real, bro. Get serious. So, what Xrpl Payments Suites says the network is becoming. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. Xrpl own payment suite page is basically telling the market, stop thinking this is the old XRP story. It lists support for RLUSD and USDC, along with use cases like cross-border remittance, regulated foreign exchanges, merchant settlement, B2B payment rails, compliant first payment acceptance, and this a very different position than the old internet argument of XRP is just for banks, maybe someday. But no, now the pitch is much broader. Wallets, merchants, payment providers, stable coins, B2B flows, and regulated FX. The page also says XRPL has delivered 99.9% uptime since 2012 and over 1.7 trillion in value transferred. Those are exactly the kind of stats that help sell enterprise confidence, whether you're talking to fintechs, payment providers, or infrastructure. Yeah, if you get uptime, especially that kind of uptime, 99.9% of the uptime is definitely something worth checking into, because a lot of these guys are down. Not a lot, but down enough, right? You miss a couple payments because the system is down. It doesn't really help in transaction processing, right? Every time the system goes down, you lose money. So you don't want the system to be down too long. I'm trying to figure out where this page is. So it's on the XRP page. XRPL payment suites. So I'm looking for that uptime. How long?
Thanks again for joining.
Oh, there it is. Uptime 99.9 since 2012, over 1.7 trillion. XRPL and RLUSD and USDC support. And I want people to catch this. XRPL is not just selling crypto, it's selling operational reliability. And that's how you get real business adoption. Do you think the stable coin can help the XRPL more than hurt XRP? Yes or no? So put that update in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about stablecoin part, because some XRP holders panic every time they hear it. Carrera itself has been writing about stablecoins as a practical payment tool. It in its March 2026 articles on stablecoin, use cases. It says stablecoins have moved from crypto native experiments into serious infrastructure discussions in boardrooms and global payment providers. It also highlighted cross border payroll and treasury optimization as real use cases. Convera earlier wrote up on the stablecoin sandwich, says the model starts and ends in fiat, but uses stablecoin in the middle, payments faster and more efficient, often hours instead of days. It also lists speed, transparency, and cost efficiency, resilience, and stability as benefits. So Kavera also then announced that Ripple's partnership built on the same idea. This is not coming out of nowhere. They have already been educating the market on why the model makes sense. And XRPL is clearly trying to position itself as one of the rails where this kind of payment architecture can happen. So, no, stablecoins are not automatically bad news for XRP holders. A better way to frame it is stablecoins may be part of how XRPL becomes more commercially useful. This does not guarantee token captures all values, but it absolutely strengthens the ecosystem story. Some people hear stablecoin and act like XRP just got fired. Calm down. Finance is building layers, not replacing everything every Tuesday. What up, Silver Days? Welcome back, Dave and Silver. Where you been, fam? So Ripple's broader payment momentum. Now zoom out. Early this month, Ripple and Ripple Payments has processed more than $100 billion in volume and highlights enterprise customers using stablecoins based settlements. It specifically mentioned Corpay, using Ripple's managed custody and liquidity management to instantly fund and settle positions across Asian Pacific and with RLUSD, eliminating costly pre-funding. That matters because it shows conveyor story is not isolated. It fits into a broader pattern. Ripple keeps stacking payments and treasury style use cases around stablecoin enabled settlement and cross border liquidity. If you're an XRP holder, that's worth paying attention to, even if every single headline is not directly screaming XRP used in every transaction, because the ecosystem maturity matters. Access matters, enterprise comfort matters, commercial deployment matters. Sometimes token market price, those things late, very late. What matters more, XRP long term or token speculation or enterprise rails? The bull case for the XRP holders. So let's make the bull case clearly. Why should XRP holders care if XRPL is leveling up fast? First, the network is becoming more useful. Lending, stablecoins, B2B payments, merchant settlements, and regulated FX are all bigger than the old one dimensional narrative. Second, commercial payment companies like Xrpl are now willing to partner into the world using Ripple's infrastructure and stablecoin enable cross-border payments. That is a meaningful, credibility sign. Third, conveyance own tripping. Conveyor's own industry view says stablecoins and real-time payments are reshaping cross-border commerce, and that business wants faster payments, lower cost, and stronger liquidity. Conveyor's Payment Pulse report says real-time cross-border payments innovation is building momentum, and that stablecoins are moving towards mainstream adoption. Fourth, the XRPL still has more development ahead. The amendments page still lists hooks and actively in development, which means this ecosystem is not done expanding. So the bullish thesis is XRPL is becoming more institutionally legit, more commercially useful, and more feature rich at the same time. That is not a small thing. And I guess we can skip the existing pre-part and go back over to X. So on the X, this is the big announcement with Convera. Hope I'm saying that wrong, but if not, no offense, guys. I'm just trying to keep it pushing. So this is the approval of Ripple's bank charter will enable XRPL integration with federal services in Q2, Q3 2026. Cuba's central bank makes historic move authorizing 10 plus firms for cryptocurrency international payments. Crypto XRP news. XRP, Solana, and Cardano's price outlook as Bitcoin struggles ahead of key micro events. XRP talent collapse. The U.S. senator just exposed it. America had 40% of global crypto developers. Now it's down to 20%. That's a 50% collapse in just 2 years. Pass the Clarity Act now or lose the future of XRP. That's weird because I thought there was a video in here somewhere. Thought somebody was talking about. Maybe not. Let's go on back through and see if we didn't miss that video. I guess not. Talent one, post unavailable. Amelia, huge news. Global leader commercial payment Convera joins forces with Ripple to empower stablecoin enable cross-border payments. This is a reminder. Swift already has successfully tested XRP in its network over 12,000 banks. XRP is a tool, and it is a done deal.
Swift is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where Swift would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, the payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace Swift. Ripple is one of the complementary networks, which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that Swift are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the Swift network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX. Swift is the preeminent.
So keeping it moving, this is breaking news. Convergence joins forces with Ripples to empower stable coin enabled cross-border payments. World Bank just confirmed XRP on the verge of a $16 trillion injection, resulting in a 3,469 per XRP. Not financial advice. Do your own research, please and thank you.
Global banks have already begun the
$3,000 XRP.
XRP is on the verge of one of the biggest breakouts that we've ever seen, with rumors targeting levels as high as $11,890 per XRP, and all of this on April 17th. April 17th is critical, and we can see a massive skyrocket for the price of XRP, which is currently $1.33. Global banks have already begun the process of switching from USD to XRP as US debt soars past $40 trillion. But a major XRP ledger built partnership is happening, and it's going to unlock the potential for over $2.16 trillion on the XRP ledger market. We're talking a large-scale partnership valued that leverages this payment rewards infrastructure fully powered by the real token directly on the XRP ledger, unfolding in under 2 weeks. And again, $2.16 trillion. Now, this is the real token, an XRP ledger built project that is literally unlocking the entire payment rewards infrastructure and soon the media market as it states here. So again, you can see a large-scale partnership that is in which its payment rewards infrastructure will power a next-generation media platform. The real token is facilitating billions, if not trillions of dollars, and they have very strong support levels for resistance. But take a look at this chart that is readying for a major historical breakout. I mean, while the entire market is sitting in the red, real token is finally recovering and actually is in the green. Just in the last 24 hours, it's up 5%, while XRP on the daily is down about 1.9%, or about 2%, and on the weekly is down about 6.65%. In fact, some analysts believe that real token could hit as high as $640 overnight on April 17th because of a major supply shock. And it's already beginning to happen. Take a look at this. Again, on the 24-hour, now we're up about 12.77%. But real token's not even listed on any major exchanges. Like, they're not on Binance or Crypto.com. They're only on MEX, BTCC, and all XRP decentralized exchanges. And you can check out RealFi.com, and let's scroll to the bottom, and you'll see, this page. Not financial advice. Like, comment, subscribe, peace.
So shout out to the Crypto Geek. This is XRP regulation push.
What we don't, that is going to be really, really important for everyone to remember, is that what we don't want to happen is to have the status quo. It is going to be important. In other words, I think I have to level set that all of us will probably walk away just a little bit unhappy. Is that what we don't want is to have an unregulated system, to have crypto not regulated at all, and not to have the guardrails, and to allow a situation where we will have deposit flight. And so the compromise that myself and Senator Tillis have been working on is one that we believe will allow us to have the guardrails in place that will help us to prevent in all the ways we can the deposit flight that we do not want to see happen, and to allow the innovation to grow at the same time. So it is not letting perfect be the enemy of good, to make sure that we absolutely have to have these protections to prevent the deposit flight, but we're going to probably have to make some compromises in the process.
Okay, and
So shout out to that regulator. This is XRP will explode overnight, says Grayscale drops a huge warning on Ripple XRP. Grayscale's head of research just issued a major warning saying a massive repricing of Ripple could happen the moment the Clarity Act is passed. Grayscale's own almost 50 million XRP. I bet they do.
And kind of asking what it means to
The ETF products for XRP have been very popular. Our G and XRP product, these products are seeing lots of demand. I think if some investors are looking ahead to clarity and kind of asking what it means to unlock a further value in these networks, I think we would see a pricing across a range of assets, certainly including XRP. And in the specific instance of this blockchain, I do think clarifying some of the questions around the long-term supply outlook, what happens to all of those tokens, can help unlock value. If you were to reduce the future inflation of the XRP token, I think that would have some positive effect on
Oh, huge, yeah. Repricing would be in order for Ripple if we do get clarity through, especially around this whole Section 205.
I do, and nothing is guaranteed, of course. But look, I would say that the ETF products for XRP have been very popular. Our G and XRP.
XRP will explode overnight. A massive repricing for XRP will happen very, very soon with the Clarity Act, according to the head of research at Grayscale. Yes, this video right here is absolutely huge if you hold any Ripple XRP, because according to this video right here, this guy is literally the head of research at one of the largest crypto capital firms in the world. Yes, Grayscale is one of the largest XRP ETF holders in the world. Grayscale owns hundreds of millions of dollars worth of XRP. That is why this video right here is absolutely huge. If you hold XRP, destroy the like button and share this video. Everyone needs to see this, because XRP can literally be repriced overnight. With the Clarity Act, we can see some big things happening very, very soon. XRP right now is at $1.30, but we can easily make new all-time highs this year with the Clarity Act. And yes, Grayscale is one of the largest XRP holders in the world right now. This right here is the XRP ETF tracker. And as you can tell, Grayscale has about 50 million XRP in their GXRP ETF, making them the 5th largest XRP ETF holder in the world. That is why this video right here, the head of investments at Grayscale, speaking about Ripple XRP, is absolutely huge if you hold XRP. And the head of products at Grayscale, this lady, she is another managing director. She holds a high position at Grayscale, and she also spoke about XRP in this video right here. This is the beginning for XRP. Yes, that is literally what she says in this clip right here. If you hold XRP, this is absolutely huge. Destroy the like button, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I'm Ray Sharif-Ascari. I lead product and research at Grayscale. Grayscale is the world's largest crypto native asset manager. XRP is a battle-tested blockchain. It's been around for a long time. I think these assets have different kind of use cases and exposure that's right for different kinds of investors. That's why we created the Grayscale crypto sectors, which is a taxonomy that divides the crypto ecosystem into 6 sectors based on investable exposure and use case. XRP is an important part of the currency sector. We've been doing this a long time. We were the first to take Bitcoin and put it in a financial product. We were the first to challenge the incumbent regulatory infrastructure to bring crypto ETFs to market. So we have been engaging with regulators to help move forward this industry for a long time, and we plan to keep doing that. As investors wrap their head around Bitcoin, as they start thinking about smart contracts like Ethereum, they are starting to think beyond that, and they're thinking about how they diversify amongst the other 50% or so of the crypto market cap that's not Bitcoin. To me, the on-chain economy represents the growing set of applications, assets, and activity that operate natively on blockchains instead of in traditional infrastructure. Practically speaking, that means economic value that's recorded, transacted, and verified on blockchain networks. A potential XRP ETF opens the door to entirely new groups of investors. Now we have people asking how to allocate. We have crypto ETFs. We have a president on 60 Minutes talking about Bitcoin and crypto. This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. According to the head of product at Grayscale, the largest crypto capital firm in the world, a lot of investors already know about Bitcoin. They know about Ethereum. But now they're thinking about what's next. What's the next big crypto? And she hinted that it could be Ripple XRP. So this video right here that I just played for all of you is absolutely huge, everyone, especially if you hold XRP right now.
I can't take that, right? Get your freaking sound fixed, my guy. But that was a cool video snippet. Keeping it moving. This is my main man.
Please read the disclaimer.
Crypto or money maker.
XRP holders, extreme greed or extreme fear? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Right now, it's not Freaky Friday. What day is it? Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's the last day of March. We're going into April, and the thing is, maybe April is going to be a good month for the crypto market. There's a lot of contradicting news coming out from the conflict in Iran. And we also have an update from Google that could mean good things, bad things for the crypto market, for Bitcoin. We'll talk about all that. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Listen, let's not beat around the bush. You guys have not been able to get 1,000 likes on the videos, and the price of XRP is stuck. So I'm just saying, maybe if we get over 1,000 likes, something will happen. We'll see. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.31. By the way, right? There's no real straight correlation between the amount of likes on my videos and the price of XRP, but maybe. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting at 67,000, up 0.72%. Ethereum up another 1.12% on the day. Crypto market not moving that much. We're still in the extreme fear zone here for the crypto market at 11. Interestingly, the stock market fear and greed index is at 9. So, just 1 month ago, it was at 41. And now, a few weeks of pulling back here, it's in extreme fear. Now, as an investor, this is an important question. Do you feel extreme greed? Do you feel, I know that's a different song. It popped into my head. Do you believe in life after love? Do you feel there must be a...
Who is that? Is that Cher? I can't remember that song. I remember it, but I don't know who sung. I think that's Cher, actually. I don't know. We will see.
Song do you feel, right? That we are actually in extreme fear, right? Are you running for the hills, or are you looking at this current situation and saying to yourself, okay, oil is at 103. It's not that bad, right? And there's a lot of contradicting headlines talking about potentially that President Trump is willing to end the Iran war if the Strait of Hormuz, even if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Details include Trump and his aides assessed that the mission to reopen Hormuz would push the conflict beyond the timeline of 4 to 6 weeks. Trump believes the U.S. should achieve its main goals of destroying Iran's Navy and missile stockpiles. Trump thinks that he can wind down current hostiles while pressuring Iran diplomatically to resume the free flow of trade. If that fails, Washington will press allies in Europe and Gulf to take the lead on reopening the strait, U.S. official says. And so, right now, the VIX is fallen under 30, right? So the fear in the short term is down, and the futures are up, right? So it will be very interesting, but it's kind of, we'll get to that in just a second. It's kind of contradicting here. You can see the U.S. Department of War announced it's be holding a press conference at 8 a.m. On Tuesday, so we have to check out for that. But I like what Orlando tweeted here. It says every 15 minutes you get a contradicting report. Like, here it says Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Kuwait, Bahrain are privately urging President Trump to continue the war against Iran, according to the Washington Post. So we're getting contradicting reporting here, and that's why maybe the uncertainty is causing a situation where investors are a little bit more frightened. But we know that if the conflict ends, oil is going to drop, right? And high probability that the stock market will get a nice pump there. It doesn't mean for sure that is going to happen, but that is the theory, that this recovery, that we're oversold right now, and then we're going to see a recovery here. Potentially, let's get a different color. I don't know. Where's my thingamajig? the colors. I don't know, but potentially here is the color. Potentially we could get right something to the upside there. So we'll see if that happens over the next coming weeks. Hopefully, I have personally I have a personal interest that we get this conflict done. I don't need my kids at home anymore after we have Passover vacation and then go back to school. Right? No more Zooms, no more staying at home. So of course that, as always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. I do not know day to day what the market is going to do. Okay. I'm not a prophet. Also, just a reminder that I will never contact you on social media asking to sign up to anything or to send me anything. That's not me. Those are imposters. I don't have 300 accounts. I only have one Twitter account and the YouTube account. That's it. And we have the free open Telegram group. Everything is linked on the page. Everything else is are imposters. They're not me. They are scammers. Please be very careful out there. Okay. If we go and we talk a little bit about the Clarity Act, we're going into April, and the U.S. Senate has confirmed an April markup for the Clarity Act. Senate markup is confirmed for the second half of April. Final passage is targeted for May, and Senator Moreno has warned that if the bill does not pass then, digital asset legislation will not receive serious consideration again before 2027. The entire fight comes down to the stablecoin yield. The current draft bans passive yield. Users cannot earn by simply holding stablecoins. Activity-based rewards for payments and transfers are still allowed. That distinction puts $1.3 billion of Coinbase annual revenue directly at risk, nearly 1/5 of everything the company earns. Coinbase has rejected the bill twice and is now coordinating a formal counter proposal with multiple major crypto firms to get the language changed before the draft hardens. Banks are pushing in the opposite direction, with Jamie Dimon and Brian Armstrong have reportedly clashed directly over stablecoin economics. April is the window. Everything gets decided in the next 4 weeks. So the next 4 weeks are critical for the crypto market. We could have a double whammy here. We could have the conflict ending in Iran, the war ending. We could also have stablecoin yield compromise here and the bill going through. April could be a very, very interesting month for the crypto market. And hopefully you are ready, right? You're getting your affairs in order. If you're interested, our partner BTCC will give the opportunity to trade the market. If you sign up right now using my link, you get 30% deposit bonus. Yes, yes, yes. And so that means 100,000, you'll get 30% of that is 30,000 deposit bonus. If you're interested, link is in the description down below. You can go long, you can go short, whatever your heart desires, but please trade responsibly. Okay. Again, it is an affiliate link, so I will get a commission. So thank you for that. Link is in the description down below. And it's another way that you can support the channel and support me and support, I wanted to, those like support the children. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't play on your heartstrings, right? No. What else did I want? Also very interesting here. The U.S. 10-year is falling. Remember, we were talking about that. Trump can't have it go over a certain level. Previously in the past, whenever we've seen the 10-year go up too much, then we seen Trump kind of change his tune and start being less aggressive in the statements that he makes. It started back when last year in the tariff situation, and now we saw it also with the situation when Trump gave that 48-hour deadline, and then he turned to 5 days, and then to 10 days, and that relieved a lot of the pressure on the 10-year yield. But we're still seeing, extreme fear on the markets. If you go here, you'll see they're still talking about oil, and they're still talking about, how potentially stocks could drop more. And there's a lot of fear mongering out there, but that's just part of the game. That's just part of the assets, the markets, right? If you go back and you remember, like now we fell here, but remember in April and February of 2025, like the S&P 500 fell a significant amount more, about 20% in 44 days. And then, I think there was maybe more concerns on the markets just because the tariff was something that we didn't really know. We kind of know how this is going to play out already. And yet the market continued to sell off because it needed a breather, right? After that April, it had run up about 44% over the year since that dip. So I think it just needed a breather. And for, regarding the crypto markets, it's all about the Clarity Act, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, right? We'll see how this plays out. Again, XRP is sitting here right about to potentially break out here, so it will be very interesting. Today, Ripple Prime has expanded its hyperliquid integration with HIP-3 symbols, giving institutions on-chain perps access to traditional assets like gold, silver, and oil. So this is interesting. And it says here, gold, silver, and oil perps on Hyperliquid matter because macro desks can keep a hedge book on crypto rails instead of waiting for CME hours. If open interest bills here, weekend prices discovery for metals and crude oil get new venue fast. And so this is important because institutions couldn't buy until now if they, the Hyperliquid symbols. So potentially now we could see institutions that don't have weekend options now have weekend options. But remember that CME, we talked about this, is going to go 24/7 as well soon, and then we won't have the gap anymore. If you noticed, I haven't talked about the gap in a while, just because a gap hasn't really opened up over the past few weeks, so there wasn't really much to talk about. You can see there wasn't really gaps. We haven't seen many big movements over the weekend, so there hasn't been a Bitcoin gap that has opened up, right? But we still have this gap around 80,000, so potentially could close this in April if we do see the Clarity Act pass, and that's going to be interesting. But soon, in the next few months, the CME is going to go 24/7, and then we won't have the CME gaps anymore. Remember, famously, we closed two big gaps that were open for months, and eventually the market sold off into those gaps. So we won't have that fear anymore going forward, for better or for worse, you could say, the CME situation. Okay. Now, something that keeps coming up, and some people throw this out as the reason why the crypto market didn't have its grand banana zone, is because of the fear of the quantum computing, right? And now Google has come out and says a quantum attack on Bitcoin takes just 9 minutes with a 41% success rate. Google's quantum team now says cracking Bitcoin may require less than 500,000 qubits, far below the millions once assumed. Researchers suggest an attack could take 9 minutes, faster than a typical 10-minute block confirmation, giving a 41% success rate. Google now flags 2029 as the key deadline to upgrade Bitcoin's cryptography before quantum becomes a real threat. Now, listen, what potentially could happen here, there might be a fork in the road. They might have to upgrade the protocol. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm not a blockchain expert, but what I do know is that they can encapsulate the cryptography and double down on it. They can create a potentially, I don't know if this would work, but they can just double they can take it and they can encapsulate it in another SHA 256 or something like that and make it more complex, and then potentially it could be harder or more exponentially harder to crack. But technology is developing, and I'm sure that there's researchers and there's people that are working on this in Bitcoin foundations and things like that, researchers and universities. I think this will get done. I think that they'll find a way to combat this. Again, it's the fear of this potentially happening. But again, if Google is the only one that has the possibility to do this, why would they do this? Let's say they have the possibilities, they have the quantum computing, but they're not going to do it, right? So that's a different question. Why would Google want to do that? Why would Google want to break the cryptography on Bitcoin? They'd have to have an incentive. I don't think that some Joe Schmo is going to have the.
So shout out to Moneymaker. Gonna go over to Stock Mo real quick before we close it down.
Welcome
Good
back, folks.
afternoon,
Big day.
XRP holders. Doesn't understand blockchain, but proceeds to try to explain. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna keep it moving.
We got a hat on. You know, I say new hat, but it's not a new hat. I'm wearing this in honor of what they just rolled out. I'm talking about Senator Loomis' Mind in America Act. I feel like she should have probably been wearing this hat as well. You guys know this is a Bitcoin hat. I got a whole slew of hats in front of me. You guys got cat hair on them and everything else. You guys know I'm usually wearing the XRP hat, but you know, Bill Cassidy, Cynthia Loomis out there bringing up the Mind in America Act. We're going to talk about this, how the effect on Bitcoin, and of course the XRP. Folks, don't think I'm going to leave that out there just because I got the other hat on. We got a lot to talk about. And is this a huge carrot to get the Clarity Act across the finish line, to get the industry to back it, to codify so much, which we're going to talk about? Man, it's a lot. Hey, before I get into it, before we talk business, and I just drop massive learning onto the community from a national champion coach / teacher, hit that like, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel. If you're tired of trying to do this yourself, you want a little bit of expertise in terms of the teaching, you have found the right place. Now, for those who are going to be riding with me today, and I know there's a few of you who are going to be riding with me today, we are absolutely going to have the live stream trading today. First link down below. Click this one, and it's private, just for members. This is for the people who said enough's enough. I want to learn and earn from one of the best out there, bar none. And this is your chance. Click that first link. Once you do, hit the join now right here, this button. And all you got to do is put in code BREAD, BREAD, save 10% forever. And you'll get access to my 37 learning lessons. You are going to get, and I keep adding to them. You're going to get access to the 3 live trading days I do for you every week. You're going to get access to the expert traders. And we have thousands of members in here. Man, we help each other take it to the next level. We got the bread bot alerts. You got my indicator is the biggest thing you get. This right here. And this is what it's about. You want to have the best tools at your disposal? This is it. I was looking up Xrpl before I went on live here, and I was just kind of looking because I saw the gain here, which was just crazy. So I could show you the 5-day chart on this, down 28.85%. Go to the 1 year. Look at this. And we're talking from February 5th up to March 17th. The thing was up 163% before giving much of it back. That was a massive rally. But then, boom. Now it's down 32% off of that. And if you go from that high of what was 163, now it's only up 79%. If you're up 79%, that is a really, really good thing. I like this stock, but I also don't mind trying to play the trend. So I was looking at this one possibly to play a few puts on it possibly. I was looking at a fib retracement on it. Like if you look at the low and then where we went here, I thought there was a little bit more room to go down to about 83, possibly about a 10% drop. 5's coming down to the 50. It is setting up. It's exactly what I look for. We're not quite in the setup, but it was just confirmed yesterday under the 50 EMA, which normally you might have a retest up and then the next leg down. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I want to help feed the family. All right. So now we come over to XRP, and then we'll look at a lot of things going on, especially that act. The Mind in America Act. I mean, that's talk about just something written for what? Right here. Written for Bitcoin. Like, it's crazy. 133.7. Let's go. We're getting a little bit of love here, a little bit of movement, finally a little bit of reprieve. Are we going to continue to run with XRP? Could we get a little bit of breaking above 134 again? Every time we got down anywhere near 130, they were buying. And so you can see what's happening here. Go to the Qs. Doesn't look the same there. Look at that. Go to XRP. No. Actually, we're actually starting to kind of meander up, which is a good thing. Now, I'm going to be live stream trading today. I would say 2 o'clock Eastern. If you can't make it, that's okay. We are also looking to bring live stream private trading of crypto in the very near future. But once we do, the price will go higher. So if you want to lock in the lower price, get into the Discord today, be a part of all these live training, because they'll be in the evenings. Because I know people want to see that in the evening. I want to bring it to you. We're just trying to figure out what platform we're going to do it on. Is it going to be futures? Is it going to be something else? Right now, I'm kind of leaning on the futures and teaching people how to do that. I know people out there try to charge thousands and thousands of dollars, 5 to 10 grand to learn how to do it. I'll teach you guys in the Discord. And that's one of the things that will call it another benefit for you. But once we do, for those grandfathered in, hey, congratulations. If you're on the Earner Plus tier, you got good things happening. And this is just another continuation of I got a different strategy. And I want you to take a look at the fear and greed index. Look at this. 9. 9. Higher gas, higher diesel, shortage of diesel. There's a lot of issues happening. And it ain't just like one day is going to solve it. But what the markets want, and what I found from my research, is after we invaded not Kuwait, but Iraq 2 different times, the market sold off all the way up to the day of the invasion, and then they rallied over the next month to the tune of double digits. It's really nice. So when I'm watching this and I realize how coiled this spring is, it tells me that there's an opportunity in the near future. And it's going to be for those who are willing to plug their nose, put their head in the sand, and come back up for air in a month or two. And they should be looking much better. Do I think we're going lower? I do, only for about a week, maybe 2 weeks max. And then at that point, I think we're going to have a very interesting relief rally. We're not there yet. This whole gas, the energy, it has not fully hit. And it could get worse depending on how everything shakes out. If it continues and you see the disruption of oil and gas and diesel and all that, well, then you do have issues. And I'm going to keep it, bringing it to you here in the channel. That's why I want you to subscribe, so I can help you with all the research I'm doing. Now, for those who want up to the minute and everything else, you get into the Discord. We're finding ways to make money on those 0 DTEs. We're having a lot of fun with that. And I'm teaching everybody how to do it. All right. Now, I was talking about this right here. The Mind in America Act. I wanted to go through that a little bit. And I put on I never wear this, the old Bitcoin hat. It's a bill which hopes to reshore critical crypto infrastructure and reduce reliance on foreign hardware. No kidding. We could really use that. For somebody who mines crypto, that'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Voluntary certification, the Mind in America Act would direct the Department of Commerce to establish voluntary certification program. There you go. Must transition away from equipment manufactured by companies tied to foreign adversaries. So they want you to buy American equipment. Well, make sure the American equipment is fairly priced. I don't think you'll have that issue. So support domestic mining. And they were talking about tax breaks on that and other things. Huge opportunities. Codify SBR. Additionally, strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's why I got the hat on. They codify that as a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Codify it. It's next level. That takes Bitcoin to a whole different level. Who else is going to have that? No one, right? That is absolutely going to propel Bitcoin. Speaking of, I didn't pull it up. Let's pull up Bitcoin, see how it's doing. I'm going to guess, yeah, not too bad. I was going to guess that it's starting to run. Are the lows in for Bitcoin? Are you kidding me? You got this carrot. There is, when you look at this thing, this is the kind of bill that if you're a Bitcoin fanatic, man, you're salivating. This is exactly what you want. Strategic Bitcoin reserve, and we're going to codify it in the law. In other words, it's not going away if they do that. Massive giveaway to the Bitcoin folks. They didn't see Ethereum in there. I didn't see XRP. But as we go, we're going to see. Just absolutely towards tighter control. It's a really interesting, and to me, I see this, and the folks I talk to, They said this would be a companion to the Clarity Act. In other words, you could see them both coming through at the same time. And it could be a huge carrot to try to get the industry on board. Now, anything that's good for crypto and we could codify that is a positive, I am all for. Now, how's this work out over the long run? How will this affect things? I think you're already seeing it, man. This thing rolled out, and already you can see Bitcoin rallying. And if Bitcoin rallies, all of a sudden you can start going over to the other ones, and it starts dragging them up too. This is Ethereum. What's going on with XRP, Mo? We go into XRP. Oh, come on. Where are you? I'm showing you two monster green candles. We get to XRP. We got one nice green candle. It could have been two monster green candles. We didn't get it yet. I have a feeling, though, that we will be back above that 134 before you know it, especially with that huge news. They're at home on break for Congress, the Senate, everything else. They come back the 13th. They're doing work at their hometowns. And then on the 13th of April, they come back and they need to get a scheduled markup vote on the Clarity Act, or we are just hurting. We are hurting. We need this thing to pass and get at least scheduled right away before the end of April. And if that happens, it is moonshot time. That is when you will finally get the runs. It's not the good kind of runs either. So what we're talking about, you're saying, well, good time. What do you mean? What we're talking about here is that you will get the Clarity Act passed. We will hopefully, I'm talking about the banking committee, move it to the full floor, get that passed, and then the House has to take it up. And they have to pass it with no changes, or if they change anything, it has to go back to the Senate. All kinds of things to worry about. I think it can get all done. And like I said, I still think it's going to be a skinny version attached to some kind of funding because they fight so much down in DC. The election's coming up. It's just ugliness out there. And that's one of the big things I'm watching for to see where we go with all this. But man, Bitcoin, if you're a Bitcoin holder right now, you got to be loving it because you are setting yourself up for an awesome opportunity with this new Mind in America Act. Oh, my goodness. I might even buy some. I don't know, but we're going to wait. If I did buy some, I'd have to have a little bit of additional risk, if you know what I mean, which I'll talk about in the Discord. We can talk about it there. If you haven't done it, first link down below. Boom, the earner tier. Oh, I don't even have it up there. Right there. Use code BREAD. Get in there. Hit the join now. I'm going to be trading live today, this afternoon. I'm excited. We're going to see if we can continue to crush it. For those saying, what do you mean crush it? Wow, we crushed it. Last week, it was 3 winning days in a row, which was fantastic. Yeah, here was the last one on Thursday, 3,800. I'm going to see if I can beat that. I'm going to see if we can beat that one of these days this week. We will find out. All right, that's the update. I'll see you in the Discord.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get out there and make some money.
Brad Garlinghouse was speaking on stage, officially giving his final deadline for when he thinks clarity is going to be. Here, BG says by the end of May, he expects crypto regulation to fully be in place. By the end of May, it's very likely trillions could begin pouring into crypto, slowly but surely, gaining more traction every single day. Brad Garlinghouse wants this bill to pass as is because Ripple stands to benefit. XRP stands to benefit. We went through a 5-year-long illegitimate SEC lawsuit.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So here's the final take. The XRPL is leveling up. Not because of one rumor, not because of one influencer thread, not because somebody threw a triangle on a chart and yelled destiny, but because the pieces are getting more serious. XRPL added vaults and lending protocol in 3.1. XRPL payment suites now opening targets B2B rails, merchant settlements, and regulated FX and stablecoins. Ripple says it has 100 billion plus in processing. Ripple payments volume and enterprise customers using RLUSD and settlement infrastructure. And today, Conveyance announced a Ripple's partnership for stable coins enabled cross-border payments, and Conveyance raising the customer-facing payment flow and Ripple power infrastructure underneath. That kind of stack up should make XRP holders pay attention. Now, does that mean the market fully understands it yet? Maybe not. It does mean XRP instantly explodes? No. But it does mean the XRPL ecosystem is becoming more relevant and to real world finance, absolutely. But does it mean the XRPL ecosystem is becoming more relevant to real world finance? Yes. And that's why XRP holders need to see this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is XRPL finally entering the next phase, or is the market just going to sleep on it? Hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. XRP starting to sound less like an old crypto debate and more like actual payment structures. Crypto people want fireworks. Business wants settlements. Conveyance didn't partner up because someone posted a rocket emoji. But thanks for joining. And of course, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.